Hello students, as we know that acid and base indicators like litmus paper can tell us whether it is acidic or basic in nature. Blue litmus changes to red in acidic solution and red litmus changes to blue in basic solution. We have also studied about dilute and strong or concentrated acidic and basic solution, which means that acids producing more of H ions are concentrated and less of H ions are dilute. Same goes for bases. If we have more of OH ions and they are concentrated, and if we have less of them, this is a dilute solution. Now coming to today's topic with a question that how strong a given acid or a base is. We can find out by using an universal indicator, which is a mixture of several indicators, and this indicator show different colors at different concentrations of H positive ions in solutions. Now to solve the question which was how to measure the strength of acid and bases, we will study pH scale and its uses today. Now starting with the pH scale, which was being suggested by a Danish scientist Sorensen. What he did was that he measured the acidity of beverages. So if we talk about the pH scale, we talk about the neutral nature, acidic nature, basic nature. So I will start with water. See, water, it's a compound, a covalent compound made up of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Together they are bonded with covalent bonding, which we call it as sharing, and we will study also later on in metals and non-metals chapter. Now in water, the molecules, they are actually moving around. So H2O in a bulk is moving around. They are colliding with each other, and maybe a small number of H positive ions are separated out. But it is about only 1 in 10 mils. So which is a very, very rare count, very less. So it is considered as neutral. And if we add HCl to this neutral liquid, then what will happen? HCl will break. It will break into H positive and Cl negative ions. So we have more of H ions being produced in this solution. Hence the solution becomes acidic. Now what happens when we start adding a base? For example, we have NaOH. It will break into Na positive and OH negative ions, which can further react with H positive ions of water, and they can neutralize them as H2O, and H ions will reduce. And what will happen? OH ions will increase. So if we talk about all these natures in a scale, we have a pH scale. Now this pH scale has two letters. See, one is a small p and the next one is a capital H. Now this capital H stands for hydrogen ion concentration, and the small p which you see here, it stands for potence in German. And actually in German we say as potence, and we mean it as power, call it as power. So this scale, you can see a colorful scale in front of you in the slide, and it has so many colors starting with red and ending to blue, and below it you can see markings there starting from 0 and they are ending to 14. So it is starting from acidic and it's coming to basic in nature, and in between the centermost you can find a green color. So if we talk about this pH scale, it is talking about the acidic nature, the basic nature, as well as the neutral nature of a solution. So first we start with the neutral nature. See, coming to this green color, the pH value is 7, where you have the equal concentration of H ions and OH ions and giving it a neutral nature, for example, water. Now, if we start shifting, maybe mine is left hand side of this table. We start shifting, you'll find we have more than 7. The values coming to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and all the colors are fading. See, first it started fading from the green to the light greenish color, then it's come to the yellow color, like faded green, and we mix with yellow peachish, and then you have red color. So it's a decrease from 7 to 0. And what is happening? The acidic strength is increasing. We have number of acids in nature. We have HCl, ethanoic, tartaric acid. You find it in tamarind, oxalic acid in tomatoes. You find so many acids. Some are very strong, some are so edible. We are eating them also. So when you start checking, you'll find they will give you different shades. If it's an HCl, you'll get a bright red color. If you have a very light acid like vinegar and all, you'll find a little better color, that is the faded color, or maybe. So what is actually happening? Lower the value, the stronger is the acid. Now come to the opposite side of the table. Okay, mine is right and maybe yours, whichever direction you are seeing, it can be left also. So in this you find different shades of blue. Starting with green itself, but you started faded blue, and then you have a darkest blue. And the values are increasing. They are increasing from 7 to 14. It is for basic strength. Higher the stronger the base is, you have higher the value. It can reach to 14 also. So we have the strongest base at darkest blue, and the value is 14. So more than 7, you talk about bases. Less than 7, you talk about acids. And if you are at 7, you are talking about your neutral layer. Now, next, we come to the importance of pH. See, we have studied about this universal indicator. Now, we have to see that whether it is important in our life, in our day-to-day life or not. We have some examples for it. Starting with is our digestive system. As we already studied in biology in our first chapter, life processes, that HCl is secreted by our body for digestion. So now if we have done overeating, lots of HCl will be produced, which can produce pain, irritation, or any other abnormalities. Now what should we do? Just as a remedy, we start using antacids. And for example, in the market you purchase also like milk of magnesia, that is MgOH whole twice, magnesium hydroxide, to neutralize the effect of acid which is causing pain in your body. We have some home remedies also like baking soda, vinegar. They can also be used at home to neutralize the effect of acidity which can give you hiccups or whatever it is, any kind of abnormal feeling which you're having inside your body. The next is use as a defense by animals and plants through chemicals. See, we have seen also, maybe experienced also, the bee sting. The pain of that bee sting causes swelling also. It is due to methanoic acid, and methanoic acid is CH3OH. If you apply base like baking soda, it will neutralize the effect. Okay. Now, we have some plants also which help in all this, that they also are important for neutralizing the effect. See, in the nature all around the way, you have so many plants. If we talk about a maple leaf, then it produces methanoic acid, and if we talk about a dog plant, it neutralizes by rubbing that dog plant on that particular area, it will neutralize the effect. So we have plants also which have a chemical defense in themselves only, can be applied and can be used. Now, if we talk about our tooth, next example, we have tooth enamel. See, tooth is a very important part of our body. It's very important because actually all the mastication, eating and all is not complete. The digestion cannot happen if we have any kind of problem in our tooth, and it's not comfortable if we have any problem there also in our tooth. So tooth is a very important part of your body, and we have tooth enamel, which is the hardest substance in the body, and it is made up of calcium phosphate. See, throughout life we are using it, but it does not dissolve in water. But it gets corroded if the pH of the mouth is below 5.5, which we call it as acidic. Now, how this pH has been, this kind of pH is created inside your mouth. This low value is just produced by your bacteria. After eating, if we do not clean our mouth, these bacteria, they start feeding on your food particles and they produce acids which corrodes our enamel. And that is why doctors suggest the use of toothpaste, which is a basic solution, twice in a day to avoid all this. Now next, coming to our soil. We talk about the soil. See, farmers, they keep on looking after the soil and they keep on checking it also whether it is acidic or basic in nature. Why so? See, soil is very important. The entire plant growth, the healthy growth is dependent on soil. And this healthy growth is important because we are dependent on plants for food. So either way, the soil is very important for us. It should neither be acidic, highly acidic or basic. It should be neutral. And if it is there, if it has become acidic in nature, we can neutralize by limestone. Now lastly, we talk about a living organism, and they are very sensitive. See, our body range is, our body requirement is 7 to 7.8. pH should be 7 to 7.8. And if it is lower, it is acidic. If it is little higher, it is more basic. So our body cannot survive in all these conditions. It becomes very difficult for our body to be immune. So we have to maintain this pH. Now, the abnormality which happens in nature, supposing we talk about acid rain, the pH of water will go down because due to acid rain, lots of acid will be poured inside the water, and it will affect our marine or aquatic life. And these were some of the examples of importance of pH. Thank you.